Hi guys, this is Vincent. In this video, I'm going to show you how different string libraries sound, how I use them, and the advantage or downside, how flexible they are, and so of that. The comparison will be between my commonly used library, which are LA scoring string 2, cinematic strings 2, and burning strings. And I will focus on short notes and sustain notes, as this is basically a soundtrack composer concerns the most. So let's do it in two parts. Before the comparison, I would like to show you the demo that I made for this video. Nowadays, short notes are getting more and more important in today's soundtracks, especially in modern hyper epic, Hans Zimmer-like, and fast repetition. So what do we composers care about short notes? Well, for me, I care about if they are aggressive, powerful, if their tags are short enough, if their scripts make them sound natural. So let's see what these three libraries could do. In last two, I used two patches, staccato and spiccato, to score the whole section. The reason I combine both of them is to reflect subtle differences of note length during the live performance. Take a look. Cinematic strings is really a simple design without many knobs to tweak. Its short notes is simply in one patch. It depends on this switch to switch staccato and staccatissimo. In my demos, I assign a CC to switch these two short notes on the fly. And here's what I got. Compared to cinematic strings, burning strings is actually quite an opposite design, which offers many knobs and many choices. In my demos, I combine staccato, spiccato, and repetition, and here's how it sounds. After listening to all of these demos, I believe everyone here has an impression on how these string libraries sound. And now I'm giving you a comparison of my opinion. Last 2 is created by composer Andrew, who's tired of nowadays libraries without being able to write expressive and realistic melodies. Cinematic Strings is designed for a composer who don't like to tweak knobs. They just like to load it and start playing. With that saying, it offers very few possibilities for tweaking compared to the other libraries. From its backdrop and font design, I would have told this is a library for traditional composers, while this is so wrong that its creator, Hendrik Squatter, is so genius and so tech geek. You can tell from its tech blog, the way he designed burning strings, and his menu where he explained why he made such a design. As you might have listened, compared with the other two libraries, LAS2 has closer sound. The advantage of closer sound is easily getting a tight attack and aggressive sound, especially when we're scoring nowadays soundtracks. The downside, however, is sometimes you might get too close that it doesn't sound epic or wide enough, and this is something could hardly be made up by reverb when mixing. On the contrary, Cinematic Strings 2 has much bigger and warm sound. Many composers like that sound, as bigger sound tend to leave a very good impression at the first glance. People would think that epic, wide, and close to the final mix. But when it comes to rapid repetition, it would be too sticky that all notes might seem stick together. Even we could tweak some knobs to prevent sample buildup. Burning strings seem to stay in the middle, but the default microphone is 3 while Cinematic Strings is mixed. I put it in number 2 for a reason, since LAS2 features on closer sound and the reverb could do very little thing during mixing. It would be very important to have multi-microphones for today's strings libraries, but unfortunately both LAS1 and 2 don't provide with this feature. Therefore, if LAS is the only string library that I used, the whole string section might not be wide or epic in the final mix. Yes, Cinematic Strings has 3 microphones: close, stage, and room, and by default is loaded with the mix microphones, while you can load the others and adjust their balance if needed. I figure out one thing very cool is that the mix microphone is actually one pre-mixed samples rather than 3 sets of samples mixing real time. This saves lots of memories, while at the same time composers may have a straightforward vision about how it sounds finally. So normally my way is to using mix to score and export every single one of the other when ready to mix. And I found one thing might not very cool is that if you like to unload some microphones, the right way is to click with shift pressed. And this is not straightforward at all on the interface. I don't think anybody would figure out the right way if he doesn't watch any documents or videos. Yes, Berlin Strings has the most microphones. It has close, 3, surround, and B. For variant 1, it has extra microphone to add more presence. By default, it's loaded with 3 microphones. LAS2 offers first chair, division A, B, and C besides full. This is quite an important feature in LAS2, but honestly speaking, for epic pieces, if I score in different tracks of violas, I will layer several full violas instead of using division A, B, and C. It features on ART. Though this is quite a convenient feature in some cases, I cannot score my own pieces, so I decided not to use that in my current demo. Slam knob for cello and double bass, which is compressed and bigger sound. There's no run patch. In my demo, I use a CC to switch between staccato and staccatissimo, which I think would be inconvenient and not look clean and tidy. As you have watched, Berlin Strings indeed offers so many possibilities to users. Actually, when scoring sustained notes, I gotta face even more choices. So many interesting questions come in my mind. Is it correct giving users many options? Or how many options are suitable? Another thing, if I use too many patches, some of them doesn't seem coming from the same library. In order to make the tone uniform, I will have to narrow down my choices.